Hi guys, it is Abby Vlogs here, and I'm just doing a quick little live stream. I'm going to be reading Chapter 2 of the unofficial Harry Potter Companion In-Depth Exploration, Volume 1, Sorcerer's Stone. Second chapter is called The Vanishing Glass. This is just going to be a quick little live stream. I'm going to go back to my not daily live streams, but probably whenever I get the chance, basically, to do a live. But yeah, here it goes. Chapter 2, The Vanishing Glass. Summary. It's been 10 years since Harry was left by Dumbledore, McGonagall, and Hagrid on the Dursleys' doorstep, but he and his cousin Dudley could not have had more different upbringings, mistreated by his aunt and uncle, and bullied by his cousin's friends. Harry's day-to-day life is genuinely unpleasant and lonely. He's forced to sleep under the stairs and do the most laborious work. What's more, odd things keep happening around him that enrage his aunt and uncle. When circumstances force Harry into accompanying the family on Dudley's birthday trip to the zoo, he's not the only one to get a rare taste of freedom that day. After the prologue of sorts in the first chapter, we skip 10 years to the beginning of the real adventure. Though a decade has passed, little has changed at Privet Drive except for the numerous pictures of Dudley. We get our first hints that Harry is not wanted and hidden. As the narrative mentions specifically, there is no sign he lives in the same house, though the evidence is more direct in Chamber of Secrets. This chapter makes it clear Harry is, in the very least, verbally abused on a regular basis. The narrative tells us Vernon and Petunia often talk about Harry in dismissive tones, as if he is not in the room. Even with his son's friends present in the car, Vernon makes a point of including Harry in his list of grievances several times while driving everyone to the zoo. Still, Harry manages to enjoy himself, reveling in the small joys he finds during the outing. There is a parallel to this scene in Deathly Hallows as Harry walks to his death and wonders at the little things, brain and nerve and bounding heart, that he hadn't appreciated before. Harry's horrible mistreatment is further emphasized as we learn of the deplorable conditions his aunt and uncle have forced him to live in by consigning him to a tiny cupboard under the stairs, a shadowy place teeming with spiders. Harry is literally and figuratively shown to be considered beneath the Dursleys, who all have clean, comfortable, and presumably Arachnid-free bedrooms upstairs. First mentions Mrs. Arabella Figg, Aunt Marge, and Pierce Pulchus. Beyond the books, although she enjoys torturing the Dursleys, the author believes Dudley is to be pitied and feels truly sorry for Dudley because I see him as just as abused as Harry, and he's not being prepared for the world at all in any reasonable or compassionate way, so I feel sorry for him. Timeline: June 23rd, 10 years after the events of Chapter 1. Breakfast. Dudley opens presents and Mrs. Figg cancels. Pierce Pulchus arrives and they all leave for the zoo. After lunch, Harry accidentally sets a boa constrictor loose. Mid-afternoon, Harry is locked in the cupboard. Night, Harry waits to sneak into the kitchen for food. The narrative is very straightforward when describing Harry's circumstances, using blunt sentences that have little variety or imagination. This echoes the life Harry is living. This echoes the life Harry is living. Forced to keep silent, not ask questions, do as he's told, and live in a small cupboard. However, we do see a few glimpses of Harry's wit and ingenuity. Most notably, we learn that Harry is often prepared to eat his breakfast quickly, knowing that Dudley might flip the table over and everything with it in a tantrum, and that Harry often thinks Dudley looks like a pig in a wig. This unflattering description fits the aforementioned caricature style in chapter 1, but it also brings up some questions on potentially harmful depictions from the podcast. Now, this is from the podcast. I linked it in the first live that I did of reading this book. So that is linked in that video below. That is linked in that video. So you can go ahead and check out their podcast. It's actually really nice. From the podcast. Thinking more about this denial of magic by the Dursleys, what does that really come from? What are their motivations for trying to push this magic away, shutting it out of Harry, making sure that it's nowhere in their house? And I thought a lot more about Petunia's history, growing up in a Muggle family, but then they find out that they have this magical born daughter who's completely different from the rest of them, who gets treasured by her parents, and Petunia gets pushed to the side. And I wonder if that has a lot to do with why partially Vernon is trying to push it away so that he doesn't upset his wife. This was said from Caleb in episode 1. Beyond the books. Privet Drive is named after the privet bush, a bush which makes neat hedges around many English gardens. The author found this to be an accurate plant to keep the Dursleys so determinedly separate from the wizarding world. The author disliked the number 4 and wrote that it has always struck her as a rather hard and unforgiving number. This is why she chose it for the Dursleys' house. Did you know? Funnily enough, the name of the actor who portrayed Dudley in the film adaptation shares a first name with the story's lead character. His name is Harry Melling. Despite this uninviting home life, we still see glimpses of extraordinary abilities around Harry. He wakes after a vivid dream about a flying motorcycle, obviously pulled from his experience as an infant. And his unruly hair is clearly in opposition to the Dursleys' repressive life. Much of what sets Harry apart is made clear in anecdotal flashbacks. Sorry if I mispronounced that word. I have a lisp and I can't pronounce words correctly. Though we as readers don't know yet that Harry has magical abilities, our first hints are given here. Amidst the magical incidents, we also see resilience in Harry. Despite his aunt and uncle trying their best, they can't entirely quash the magic, curiosity, and gumption out of their nephew. With all of this in mind, there seems to be another classic children's literature trope in play, that of the orphaned hero who makes the best of a bad situation until some extraordinary event sweeps him away. During Harry and the Dursleys' trip to the zoo, a few new themes emerge that will continue to gain significance as the series continues. Notably, in the reptile room, the description on the glass tank of the boa constrictor highlights the animal's power and strength. The description of the snake focuses on the power and strength of the boa constrictor. However, the snake is contained in board, which draws Harry to it. Harry's sympathy for the snake begins their conversation and gives clues to our young wizard's potential. For both Harry and the snake, there is an immense power that is being restricted by a repressed environment. Like Harry, the boa constrictor has never known its true home, but in a moment of need and high emotion, both will be able to make an escape with a little bit of help. Harry's connection to the snake seems like it should be an early hint that he could be in Slytherin. Yet another idea that will be further emphasized in Chamber of Secrets on the most basic level, there is the fact that Harry is talking to a snake, the symbol of Slytherin House, but their conversation and similarities also point to the traits of ambition and power and belonging, both of which are typical of Slytherin. The very end of the chapter gives us more insight into Harry's personality as Harry remembers the many encounters he's had with strangers who appear to know him. He seems baffled. At no point in this series does Harry ever feel comfortable in his celebrity. Perhaps it is a result of nurture or the environment he was raised in, as made clear in this chapter. Harry wants to be as unnoticeable as possible, yet even while he is sitting in a locked cupboard, he can't help but feel like something greater is in store for him. Fan theory. For a long time, there is a misconception that the boa constrictor Harry meets in the zoo is Nagini. That is unfortunately not true, but how cool would that have been? Because Nagini is in fact a python. The author confirmed this via Twitter in 2018. Consider this. Harry accidentally made his hair grow back in one night, shrunk a sweater too small to fit him, jumped onto the roof of the building, talked to a snake, and made a pane of glass disappear. What else do you think he might have been capable of as a young wizard if he'd known he was one? Beyond the books. The Dursleys' last name was inspired by a town near, excuse me for my mispronunciation for this UK town. So, any British people out there, I am deeply sorry. Gloucestershire, UK, close to where the author grew up. The Dursleys' home is in Little Whinging, since whinging is a colloquial term for complaining or whining in British English. It fits very well with the personalities of the Muggle family who lives there. Did you know a Knickerbocker Glory is a type of tall, layered sundae that typically includes ice cream, fruit, whipped cream, and sometimes nuts? Magical theory. All Harry has to do for the boa constrictor to engage with him is to look intently at the creature. Do you think all Parselmouths have this ability, or do most have to actually speak for a snake to respond to them? Beyond the books. At Carnegie Hall in 2007, the author compared Dudley to Draco, raised as a pampered only son, indoctrinated with his parents' beliefs. Meanwhile, elsewhere, Professor McGonagall was putting together Harry's Hogwarts acceptance letter. Do you think she shed a tear or perhaps felt a moment of exhilaration as she addressed it to the Harry Potter? Like I said, this is going to be a short stream, but I do want to show you guys the pages so you know what happened in this chapter. So there's the summary, there's the next page, and there's timeline going from left to right. There's all this information and all this information. And then, wrong page. And then there's this page right here. We'll get into chapter 3 probably Tuesday, because I work tomorrow and only tomorrow, because I was off today, because my store was closed today. So, yeah, I will probably do another chapter on Tuesday, and then I'll probably do another stream on Saturday, maybe? I'm thinking about it, but it'll be like a different stream. So, yeah. Yeah, that is all for this stream. Yes, it is short, but I already warned everybody it was going to be short today because I wanted to keep it short and sweet. And I just wanted to get a chapter in since I didn't get one in yesterday because I was tired because I was just busy yesterday last night. So, oh yeah, that's my Easter basket. That has a lot of stuff in it. I love it. Happy Easter, everybody. I hope whenever people watch this, I hope you guys had a great Easter. And if you're from Canada, have a good Easter tomorrow. So, I'll see you guys Tuesday. Bye.